Hello and welcome to Ajyal Show Festival Edition. I'm Sultan Al-Imadi. Joining us today, our guest Andrés Khames, the director of the film BAISANOS.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You co-directed the film with your sister Francesca. The film is about the football club BAISANOS. So, how did the project start?
The project started from a film school that I was attending in Barcelona. So this was my final project, and we started working together for this. And as I said, the principal idea was to make a portrait of the Palestinian diaspora in Chile through the stadium, because it's full of symbols and myths and other things that tell the story itself. But then we got connected with the Baisanos, which are these other fans that don't have the Palestinian heritage, and then it turned into an identity thing and all the things that I was saying.
So the film kept developing while shooting, while planning. You initially had a different intention, but it kept on growing.
And to be honest, we didn't have like a master plan of what we were gonna do.
Yeah, what do you think about this approach? Simplicity, doing things with little. Are you not a fan of a spectacle film?
I mean, of course, yes, but I think it's really liberating also to do with what you have, because then you don't have so much limits. You can just go and do, and then you see the results. And in this film that we did, um, had a good outcome, but it was really done that way. So we did it with friends only. So we didn't have any resources to actually plan so much the film, but we shot with friends, and it resulted.
Yeah, I honestly love this approach. It feels more of a hobby than a job, you can say. Picking up a camera, going with your friends, shooting, having fun, and then at the end of the day, your film is in a festival.
Yeah.
I had a similar discussion with a guest earlier. His film won Cannes Best Short Film Festival. He said something similar to what you have said. He said, "Don't be over controlling. Just let people do their own thing, and then the creative vision will carry the film all along." So, what do you think of such saying that you need to, let's say, be less strict on your crew, on your teammate to tell your story?
No, I agree. And in our case, it was that also we were lucky to find the Baisanos, which are the fans of the team, because they were really open and they are really proud of what they're doing. So they invited us to go with them in the bus, as you will see in the film. They
Yeah.
invited us to go to the games with them, to their houses. So, and it was really easy to connect with them, because they really want to show what they are doing. And we just let go and went with them. And then we had all the images. And then in the editing process, we tried to make sense of what happened in this month shooting. And then the layers started to appear from the text.
Yeah, the hospitality of the Baisanos
Yeah.
fans puts, as you can see, I'm smiling. It warms my heart. Did they see the film? What did they think about it?
We are coming now just from Chile. So we had the national premiere 3 days ago, or 4 days ago. And yeah, it was amazing to be able to be with them. And many of them were in the cinema, and it was the first time for them seeing it. So I was really nervous if they're gonna like it or not, because it's the first time.
Mm.
But it was great, and it was nice to also give like a close to the whole process with them in Chile.
How were they watching the film? Were they cheering? Maybe.
Yeah, and also they went in the stage with us with a
Oh.
banner. So
Lovely.
yeah,
With the banner of Baisanos.
of the Baisanos.
Baisanos
Yeah.
Club.
And yeah, in that sense, I feel like this connection with them is what started guiding the the idea and the outcome of the film, because we went there with an idea first to make a portrait of the Palestinian diaspora
Mm.
in the stadium. But then we met with them, and naturally we connected. And most of them are not Palestinian in descent. They don't have any Palestinian descent from their families. But the way they connect with Palestine, and the way that they find identity through solidarity and through other things that are not blood, really taught us a lesson on what identity really means. So even if we are Palestinians because our family is, there are other things that also can make you find your identity in the place that you are.
You mentioned symbolism within the club. What was your approach in capturing the symbolism in your film?
So, well, first the Palestinian national symbols are all over. No, you have the Palestinian flag. The Palestinian flag is in the shirt, and in that way, Palestino itself, the football team, is a living archive of Palestinians. No, because it was founded in 1920s, even 20 years, 28 years before the Nakba. So you can see that in that time they already were carrying the national symbols of the country. And and to answer your question, yeah, it's in the stadium you see also, I don't know, camels, for example, people that go with camels, which are not really representative of Palestine, no, but it's in this imagination
Yeah,
that people from somewhere so far away as Chile have of trying to catch Palestine and trying to relate.
it's like an Arab symbol, the camel, and then you have we call them the Ghitra in Qatari.
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
like a mix of everything. But the good thing is like all of these symbols that can even sometimes be problematic because they're not accurate. It comes from love, no, and from trying to get closer to something. So that is also important to understand.
Yeah, it's the intention. You guys are doing this out of love to Palestine, out of love of humanity and connection. I don't think we will judge the accuracy that much. Like if you brought in a horse and said, okay, that's for Palestine, we would say, oh, yeah, okay, sure. We love you guys as well. Why do you think football became a tool of remembrance for this community living far from home?
I think football had two main goals or for Palestinians in the diaspora. One, as I said, it's a living archive of the existence of Palestine because the national symbols of Palestine, the national colors, were put into place in Chile in the 1920s when the team was founded. No? So even before the Nakba, they were already carrying the Palestinian symbols, not only in Chile, but in international cups. And it's a living proof of the existence of Palestine. And on the other hand, I think it also served a role of social integration for Palestinians in the country. So through football, everyone got to know who are the Palestinians living in Chile, who are these people. You start mixing with others. And I think it really served a role of integration also.
I loved how your film was able to capture the emotion through empty stadiums. You had like very long takes on different parts of the stadiums. Could you please talk about that, about these shots?
Mhm. So I think these shots really reflect a feeling of
I felt it,
thank you,
honestly.
thank you. Reflect of this feeling sometimes of maybe a little bit of nostalgia, no, for the place that is not longer there. So it's this new place trying to or you trying to see this place as your own. No, so I think this time of the shots gives the space to reflect on that, and even for example, the empty chairs of the stadium or the empty where the coach is, give you this time to think about a place that is no longer there.
Yeah, I think you captured the diaspora, captured the time, captured the moment in a really well done manner. That's what made me absolutely love the film. So yeah, that's actually incredible what you did, Andres.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure watching your film. It's a pleasure. I think we're gonna watch your film today.
Yeah.
I'm one of the moderators. I wish I moderated your film. When I
uh,
got the list, I said, "Oh no, I wanted BAISANOS." I swear. So you combine a spoken Arabic poem with real-life scenes around Club Deportivo Palestino. How did you arrive at this stylistic choice?
so first we shot as I said before, and then we with all this experience that we had, more than the footage, with all the experience that we carried in this month of shooting, we started to rethink about some things, and I think that the text emerged as part of this research. So the text has from Lina Meruane, as I said before, she's the Chilean Palestinian writer, and also some poems of Mahmoud Darwish,
Mahmoud Darwish, yeah.
and there's also a letter that is kind of mythical in Chile and in Palestino, because it was a letter that Arafat sent to the club. Yasser Arafat sent a letter in 2003.
Yeah, I remember that scene, yeah.
Yeah, and the letter he sent, it was when the club was about to close. They were broke at that time.
Yeah.
And he was saying, you cannot close, this is very important for us. And we are the only country that has two national teams. So we took from that letter, we took from Lina, and we took from Mahmoud Darwish, and created this narrative where a person in Palestine is wondering about Chile, and a person in Chile is wondering about Palestine.
You basically mixed heritage and politics and contemporary feelings and emotions into a 10-minute film. That's really incredible. Like, this film also supports the Palestine cause, the solidarity with Palestinians, but it came from a different angle through a football club, and that's what makes it really unique. What do you think about that point, like approaching the Palestinian cause from a different view?
I think it's important. I think that we have enough images portraying us as a victim, and these are other ways and of portraying ourselves, no? And us from Chile, this is the image we have. We have the privilege to be speaking about this from afar. We didn't live it on first hand. So in this privilege that we have of being Palestinians in another place, and we didn't have to suffer all that the Palestinians in Gaza or in the West Bank are suffering now, we try to tell a story about solidarity and about what we've seen and we are grateful for in Chile. And the film was a way of honoring the persons that really have had the courage to speak about Palestine. They have taken risks to do so, and it was our way of honoring them for keep doing this.
Is there a message that you would love to share to the audience?
Yeah, I would say to keep talking about Palestine and to take the risks as these people have been taking, to keep talking about Palestine and to put it in every space that they can.
Thank you for your answers, Andres. We have basically touched upon humanity connection through a short film about diaspora and a football club.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting us to this space.